from 13 to 16 years.
13 to 16. So I always believe teens is the most critical times,
Yes.
13 to 19. I strongly believe that 13 to 19. So this is the best time to connect, reshape, and who knows, someone amongst you could be a pioneer tomorrow. Yeah. So the session
So,
is all about, yeah,
yeah, before you start with yours, thank you so much.
yeah.
I think we'll have our teachers introducing you.
Sure, please go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I would love to begin this wonderful session with a beautiful quote. Stress is the trash of modern life, also fear. We all generate it, but if you don't dispose of it properly, it will pile up and overtake your life. On behalf of Golden Sparrow Hub, my name is Ms. Shakti, the teacher from the Home Science Department, would like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guest, Mr. Mansoor Ali Ibrahim, sir,
Thank you. Pleasure.
teachers, and all the students joining us today for this important webinar on managing exam stress. Thank you, sir. Let me introduce you to our chief guest for the day. Mr. Mansoor Ali Ibrahim has his base in Mumbai. He is a transformational life coach, a wonderful health and wellness coach, a transformational speaker, a motivational interviewer, and a skill ambassador. As we gather here, we acknowledge the pressures and anxieties often accompanying the exam season. So, at times you might feel overwhelmed. But today, we have the privilege of learning from our guest expert, Mr. Mansoor Ali Ibrahim, sir, who will share his invaluable insights and practical strategies to help us effectively cope with and conquer exam stress. So, get ready, folks. Let's seize this opportunity to equip ourselves with invaluable tools while fostering a culture of mutual support as we tackle this formidable challenge with unwavering resilience and unity. Thank you once again. Without further preamble, let's dive in and make the most of this session, a wonderful opportunity to learn and to grow together. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate beautiful words.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so those who want to make some notes out of the session, please go ahead. You're free to make your notes. If at all you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you wish to park them at the end of the session, somehow we want to sum it up between 45 minutes or so. So I think we're good to go. Right. So there, you guys might allow me to start with a small exercise. Is it okay? Hello. Is it okay to start with a small exercise?
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
because this will help us to have a beautiful flow of the session, right? So I have chosen a word fear, Fear. Today's session is about fear, anxiety, stress. So I have chosen a word fear, Fear. Now this word is fearsome, but I want you to write positive words. A positive word for F, a positive word for E, a positive word for A and R. That's the way we want to start the session. So Fear. Um, just look for some beautiful positive words because that will stick to you. That will be your takeaway from the session. And further down the line, I might have another exercise based on your own positive words, right? So this is how mostly we work as life coaches. We have a lot of exercises. So this is the most simplest one, but please uh, have a pen and paper and write it down. Fear, positive word for Fear. But that should resonate with you. That should be your personality, your perspective, and that will help you understand the session more beautifully. Okay? I won't ask you right now what are the words, but yes, later on I wish to. So let me know once it's done, then we can proceed with it. Okay, are we done? Hello, are we done?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So allow me to start the session. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, cool. Now the technology is so beautiful that we have such beautiful sessions and we can help each other. Like right now, people from different cities, different places are here. I'm sitting in the Golden Sparrow Hub at Seaboots, and I'm having this session, first of a kind, online. Yes, we had all offline sessions, yes, Now, to start with, I'm sure you're all aware of the upcoming exams, so get ready to learn some useful tips and tricks to help you get the most out of exam preparation. So, it's all about preparation. Preparation could be, most of us would be having their preparation all through the year. They are so focused, they are so determined, they are so dedicated, and most of us are, smart enough. So just like 2 months or 3 months prior to the exam, they will have their own study schedule, and they would and they score. It depends. It's case to case different. Like perspectives are there. So when we talk about anxiety, the word anxiety does come very naturally. And I might repeat this word natural and normal all through the session, because most of the feelings, the emotions that we're going to discuss and how we need to cope up with them are all natural and normal, right? So the experience of feeling an intense moment of fear or panic before or during the exam is natural and normal. So we can assume that yes, it is normal and it is natural. Now, the word anxiety, what is your understanding about the word and how do you correlate with it? So let's be honest here that yes, by nature, I I do have some anxiety. Somebody would be having a higher level, somebody would be having a lower level. So this is a question. Be honest to yourself. We all get anxious. Anxiety is there. Now, since I have the teens as my audience, so 13 to 19, as I said, this is most critical part. So anxiety has come very naturally nowadays, and I'm honored to have teachers and parents in this session along with the kids. So that will be helping me a lot. So anxiety is an emotion, to be honest, and emotions are like powerhouses. So we all have these emotions, and emotions are somehow connected to your thoughts. And as they say, like in a day around we have around 60 to 65,000 thoughts that run through our brain, our mind. So most of them, if they aren't like screened properly or funneled properly, so they could be a cause of anxiety, stress, and further on to depression. So why did I start with anxiety? Because what happens mostly nowadays, we are just imposing things upon us. Somewhere, the teachers, the parents also a part and parcel of it. So the youngsters, they feel that kind of a pressure, and it mostly comes with overthinking. So in the audience, if you people are overthinkers, believe me, this is something that you need to awaken. This is the right time with this session. Thinking to an extent is fine. Overthinking over certain given situations which are mostly critical, that's fine. But by nature, by habit, if you become an overthinker, believe me, overthinking will lead to high level of anxiety, and I can assure you, I can dare say that it will attract failure. I would repeat, high level of anxiety will attract failure because it is mostly related to overthinking, and most of the people they just simply ruin the opportunities that they have, right? So having low anxiety, that's fine. Like we say, having one butterfly in your stomach is fine, but several butterflies, that's not fine, right? So anxiety could be low and high. So you have to judge yourself. Are you a person who is always into low level of anxiety or high level of anxiety? But to add to it, are you into overthinking business? So if you are, streamline your thoughts because you just can't afford to be an overthinker for everything and anything. You have to have a hierarchy of life, hierarchy of thoughts. What matters to you most? What is important? What is crucial? What is the need of the hour, the need of the moment? We always want to be mindful about it. Anxiety, as I said, is kind of emotion, but you have to be mindful about it. How far I can tolerate, far I can justify it, how far I have the solutions to it. So this is something very personal and very deep. And again, I would say it is natural and normal. Now, further down the line, these are words which have been very common in our day-to-day life: anxiety, stress, and depression. So, am I going too fast or the communication is okay? Please let me know. I'll work accordingly. Is my speed okay? Do you want me to slow down? Or
So proper, proper.
okay, fine. Okay.
Fine.
So we have to understand these three words: anxiety, stress, and depression, because this is the three keywords or three cornerstones of our session today. Like as anxiety, it is something that happens because of overthinking. But it is not related only to overthinking. At times, it is related to our lifestyle also. Now, parents, definitely, when we talk about lifestyle, then it is all about how we lead our day to day life. That is the most important thing, right? So, what happens nowadays, we are so much glued to our mobile phones. Technology is good, but to what extent we need to spend our time? On an average, we Indians are spending 4 to 5 hours a day surfing the mobile for good reasons, for any reasons, for studies or just going through the reels and shorts. I don't know, but on an average, 4 to 5 hours. And don't you think we all are being blessed with 24 hours, equally blessed? But 4 to 5 hours just on social media and that surfing and what productivity it gives you, that again leads to anxiety. So my word, if you're glued to your mobile phones, the radiation that causes effect on you slowly and gradually, it doesn't come instantly, it comes over the period of time. It might take few weeks, few months, but it comes for sure, right? So it is a cause of anxiety. The third and the common cause of anxiety is not having the proper food style. Parents need to be more aware, teachers need to be more aware as to what our kids are eating, you know. As a life coach, I have come across many clients and they come to me, you know, I'm affected with stress and anxiety. And anxiety is the most common word. And people are so aware, you know, they come to you, they Google some stuff, or the WhatsApp University is always there. And they say, like, I'm suffering with anxiety. So I said, like, just let me know past 1 week, what was your lifestyle like? They asked me what lifestyle. I said, lifestyle from eating perspective, how do you like consume your food, whatsoever, what you have for your breakfast, what you have for your lunch and dinner. So most of the people, they skip their breakfast, they are in a rush, they are in a hurry. And so if you don't have a proper meal in a day, the required proteins and nutritions, definitely you will be affected with anxiety. How common is that? Now, coming next is stress. Now, anything between anxiety and depression is stress. Nowadays, what happens? Our youngsters mostly they are enthusiastic. They are the future. They want to do a lot of things. But what happened? Like due to some lack of time management, lack of resources, also which we shall discuss as the session progresses. But what happens? You know, to make it very simple, and I want the kids to note it down. You guys, you know, you want to do a lot of things, but what happens, the things you decide to do, and finally when you end up, what happens, there is a lot of lack, there's a lot of lapses, so you're not able to cover and gain that. So what happens, you are in a state of stress. You want to do a lot of things, you have plans, most of the people they have good plans for the day, but end of the day they aren't that achieving, they aren't that successful. So what happens, that in between gives a stress. And to add to it, always parents are there, teachers are always there, who have their own enthusiasm, their own courtesy, empathy to make sure that the kids are doing fine, but they fail to understand that this leads to stress. Now the most alarming situation is about depression. So the sequence is anxiety, it goes to stress, and finally it goes to depression. And believe me, I have to be very honest to you if I say that this journey of anxiety to depression, it might take a week, uh, 10 days, or maximum 2 weeks, depending on the individual, depending on your age, your physical capabilities, how what is your coping mechanism about things, right? So, but it could be as minimum as 7 days to 10 days and 2 weeks. Just imagine somebody just started in a state of anxiety and ended up in a depression in a matter of 10 days, 2 weeks. And most of the time, what happens, we as family, we as peers, as siblings, we fail to understand. At times, maybe even teachers, sorry to say, but might fail to understand. The signs and symptoms are very clear, but we fail to notice. And what happens? Most of the people, they go for the ultimate, which is committing suicide. They feel worthless. They feel that is the end of it. Failing an exam means that's the end of it. Now I can't do nothing about my life, right? This is how the situation is. Now, to proceed further down the line, before and during the exam, here are some tips that you might want to listen more carefully and write it down. Now, negative thoughts for exams. Like I said, these are natural and normal. So the thoughts will come. But what is your coping mechanism? That's the most important thing. Family pressure is always there, but most of the time, we parents, you know, we fail to even realize that, you know, we are giving an extra stress and extra burden on the child, on the kid, and he has to meet at that levels and to set his benchmark. You know, we have to take it naturally. Now, there is a question to all the parents, teachers who are parents, and there are parents, as a see Shazia ma'am is there. Like, if I ask an open question, Shazia ma'am, do you love your kids? It's an open question.
I do love my kids.
Yes, that's a very common question. You love your kids, we all do. But now the question was half. Now I'll complete the question. Do you love your kids the way they are?
Yes, I think so, yes.
Yeah, so if you do that, then definitely everybody is not at par. right? So we can't expect the same learning skills, the same capabilities, the same results, and the same output to every kid. And this is something so wrong which is happening in our day-to-day lives. Deciding for exam results. Okay, the journey is there, the preparation part is there, but how do you decide for it? The effort should be there, the journey should be there, and definitely the results would be good. So we all often just deciding the exam results for future success. Like I said, this is so random, this is so rampant nowadays that people just feel that yes, if I score good, I will be successful in life. If I pass this exam, things going to be fine, but it doesn't work out that much. Now I will talk about emotional maturity. So kids, I just want you to be very alert on this because this is the right time. The teens, like I said, emotions are your powerhouse, and there are different shades to your emotions. Now, when we talk about your emotions, about your exams, so definitely you need to have your boundaries. The teachers will say something to you, they will guide you. The parents will always be there to, out of courtesy at times, out of, sorry, don't feel offended. There's some lack of misunderstanding also, but they are there always. At times they're just simply bombarding it. So the emotional maturity with the kids of today, which is quite possible. If I call my early days as a kid, we were duffers then. So, but nowadays the kids are too smart. Technology is always there. They have more access to beautiful uh, case studies and their own understanding. From decade to decade, there's a huge gap. There's a huge difference, right? So you are beneficial from there. So take it positively. So emotional maturity is where you need to be having your own boundaries, your own schedule, your own timetable, your own efforts, and your own decided results. Add to it, there is always peer factor. Right? Do we agree? Still, it prevails. The peer factor is always there. Above all, the worst of the scenario could be poor self-image. With this session, I don't want anybody here on to have a poor self-image. Because anybody with a poor self-image is hampering his chance, is simply ruining his own future, his capabilities, and the resources that are so beautifully available. Most of the people, they aren't blessed with all the technology like you guys are there, right? So never have this poor self-image. Things can be worked on. There are shortcomings which can be understood. People like me, your teachers, your parents, these are the chain of communication, that you always have the liberty to connect with. So get out of that toxic atmosphere of having some poor self-image. I have never known a person who was successful in life by having poor self-image. Certainly not. What was the image of Mahatma Gandhi? A simple man, a very simple man. Did he have poor self-image? No, he is the Mahatma. He gave us the freedom. So never have that poor self-image. Most of anybody wants to speak about it. Anybody has some past experience that has been like a luggage that have been like taken on the shoulders and affecting them all time, big time rather. Anybody wants to share his experience? Okay, fine. If nobody wants to share, then I'll go ahead. But the bad experiences, what are these? Failures from the past. Write it down, kids. This is for self motivation. But basically, I'm a transformation coach, so I want this to be transformed. I'm not here to motivate because motivation might last for next few hours and it's done. But always say to yourself, life is to be taken in phases. Those bad experiences don't define me. I always have a quote for my own self, my very own quote, that if I was successful in the past, I will be successful in the future. This is all I say to myself. I have seen the highs and lows in life, all the struggles, whatever were required. I have been through it. But I always said to myself that if I was successful in the past, I will be successful in the future. In between, it's just a passing phase. Fine. Now, getting to the next topic is about some kind of triggers, right? So we do all have some triggers in life. Yeah, we do have, right? And kids, I just want you to make a triangle. Even teachers, for that matter, can make that triangle. And you have to write three sides of the triangle would be thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So mostly, what are triggers? Triggers are something like which easily upsets you. Some traumatic memory is always there. People tend to at times other people do it intentionally. They trigger you for some reason, but and they compel you to do something which is not you. So in life, this is not related to the session, but yes, if somebody wants to trigger you, you should be well aware that you need to react or respond. Triggers will be there. People are always there. Some kind of bully. It normally happens at school level, you know. So then don't let that happen to you. So have you drawn a triangle? Three sides: thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Are we okay? Are we good? Okay, fine. Shall I say man has given a thumbs up? So thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. I have tried to make it very simple because this is so relevant to you. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. There is no external factor to it. I'll repeat, there is no external factor to it. It's purely internal, which is inside you. Your heart, your mind, and your gut. This is a beautiful triangle that I'm giving you today. So thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Certain lines I have written because a similar session I had last week. I'm trying to repeat the same to benefit you all. I feel sad, so it must be bad. It happens to you. Does it happen to you? It is one of the side of the triangle. It is your thought. It is your feeling. Does it affect your behavior? It does. Avoid, escape, or freeze. Some people always are trying to escape from it rather than face it. And some people just go into the freeze state. That is the state of depression. And I would love to recall anxiety, stress, and depression. This is a period of 1 week, 10 days to 2 weeks. So avoid, escape, or freeze. So never let that happen that you get into a situation of freeze because that is nothing but depression. I can't cope. How often people amongst us just simply give it up. I can't cope. You can cope, but with your right hierarchy. What matters to you most? What is the initial things? You can do it first. Get the simple stuff done early in the day so that you have some time for the later to do something which is mattering most, or vice versa. Because it's all about your personality. For me as a life coach, definitely I understand the personality of the person, and then we have our models and theories, and based on that we give them their homework. So it purely depends on you that if you can't cope up, just streamline the things that matter to you most, which are easiest. You feel you're okay with doing the things which are easy, do it upright early in the day, do it and finish it off, so you can save the later part of the day for the hard task. If you feel vice versa, that you want to do the hard tasks first in the day and later you streamline for the easier ones, that's all up to you. Like I said, it is purely your internal calling, your inner calling. No external factors are to be allowed. And here again, I would mention the word of having your boundaries. Something terrible is going to happen. Forecast. Most of the overthinkers, they 99% they feel that the results won't be good, the outcome won't be good. This is so common, this is so seldom with people because they have decided something terrible is about. And this happens mostly in the state of anxiety. Please, I want you to note that this happens in the state of anxiety. You feel that nothing gonna work, nothing is right, my thinking process is not fruitful. What I am about to do, people might object, people might comment on it, I would be bullied. So this is the phase which is so critical between there's anxiety and depression. So anxiety is the state where we can be happening like this. Anxious and fearful. Again, people who are affected with anxiety and the higher level of anxiety would be anxious and fearful. It is so common. And believe me, you as teachers and parents, me as a coach, we have to be very watchful. Do we have kids around within the family, and not even the kids, family members, adults who are anxious and fearful? Most of the time, the sorry situation is that people are not able to speak up. And it's a very sorry feeling. Most of the suicides that happen amongst the students and amongst the adults for various other reasons, we will discuss that later in the session. What happens, we fail to realize. We fail to realize that somebody within our community, in the neighborhood, in the family, is going through traumatic situation. Most of the trauma is from the childhood. Well, we're not touching that part here, but most of the trauma is from the childhood, which happens to continue decade from decade to decade, and even in the adulthood, it affects. And it might affect our children's well being and upbringing also. It might affect their studies also. Physical sensation of anxiety. Those people who are into a state of anxiety, and most often the higher level of anxiety, you see their body language. They can't speak properly. They lack words, their facial language, their body language. Nothing is helping them out. So these are some easy symptoms that we need to work on. And we as teachers and parents definitely have to look into it. Now, the next slide. Examination stress is better prevented than treated. So it could be prevented, it could be treated. Again, it is individual to individual. I would never make this a generic session. I always, as a coach, believe that every individual is different. So it could be specific to the people. But now, the word stress, we understood. During exam, stress is always there, but there is something known as positive stress and negative stress, right? So it's very easy to understand, it's very easy to explain that stress is normal, it's natural, it should be there, but controllable. Now, if I have to appear for my exams and my exams are there 3 months down the line, then I have the understanding, I have that feel that 3 months, yes, I have to buckle up and my studies and my schedule, my routine. I have to cut down on my social media. I have to have a perfect healthy lifestyle, and so on and so forth. These are all your inner callings, right? So 3 months down the line, the exams are coming, and you're getting prepared to it. So this is some kind of a positive stress. That's beautiful. That should be there. Always have that limited, minuscule positive stress in your personality. It helps a lot. It keeps you prepared, pre-planned, focused, and it gives you sufficient time to adjust. Now, negative stress, my exams are just down the line 1 month or 2 weeks, 3 weeks maximum, and I don't know where to start and things. So, what will be the end result? We're gonna be messing it up big time, right? So, that is a negative stress. But I'll make sure to make you understand that don't confuse these things towards positive. Let it be stress, which is positive and which is negative. Now, a golden question, an open question, is it possible for anybody or everybody to be positive all the time? Is it possible? I need a reply. Anybody should please come with a reply. Can we positive? Can we be positive all the time? Is it possible? Rather, is it essential? Is it essential? Is it required? I need one answer, please. It helps the session.
No,
Hello, Kavish, you want to say something?
you can't be positive all the time.
Certainly, this was the answer I was expecting, and you have nailed it. Yes, we cannot be positive. Rather, there is no need to be positive 24 hours a day. What happens, that kind of a positivity leads to toxic situation. That is known as toxic positivity. So feel free. There is no need. There is no urgency that you need to be positive all through the day. It is not possible. Let the things come. Face it. Accept it. Acceptance is, that's the best remedy for all the diseases that we are facing right now, mostly the mental ones. Fine. So always remember there can never be a time that you will be positive all the time. Never. Now, further down the line, nearing the time of examination, this is some beautiful steps that I will read out. I'll try to explain. I'll try to elaborate. And I'm sure if you're going through the slide, this is something that resonates with you, connects with you. But again, I would say these are generic. It is not specific. So you have to have your understanding of yourself, right? So avoid late night reading. Most of the people, they prefer to read late night. That's normal. Most of the people, they tend to sleep early, get up early in the morning, and start with their studies. It helps them either ways. So always be comfortable with the way you have. Those patterns are yours, naturally yours, and stick to it. I'm not here to comment about it. Avoid unhealthy foods. Parents, teachers, make sure that when I mention lifestyle, it's all about unhealthy foods during the exams or all through the year. What happens, there was something that I read a few months back on that something called food coma, and I never fail to use that when I talk about healthy lifestyle, because what happens, the kind of food that we take in, we Indians basically, or we Asians, why we eat food. खाना बच गया खाना खा लो भूख नहीं लगी है यार खा लो कहीं बैठ गए खा लो right go to a friend have tea some snacks this is our eating pattern right do you agree on
Yes, sir.
this is how we do it. Our body demands food. It requires food. That's the time we feed ourselves. So during exams, what happens nowadays? The generation is so much like exposed to all the junk food and stuff. So at least during the time of exams, avoid it because it's gonna make you some kind of cow. It will put you into some couch potato situation. You might lack your focus, your attention. You might feel heavy, dizzy. Always the problem of digestion and stuff is there. So it's a humble request during the exams. Parents, teachers, make sure that your children are having something some food that is very healthy and nutritious and very light. Avoid discussion about previous paper. How often we do this? And this is a trap, right, guys? Allow me to use this word. It's a trap. Is this the right word to use? It is a trap. What's gone is gone. The paper, the examination, the previous day is gone. The discussion about those previous papers, they never benefit you anything. You should be always focused for the next exam. Well, how you are done in the past exam, that's fine. Having a discussion will hamper your possibilities and chances of scoring good in the next paper. Avoid. So next to it is avoid attempting to study a new topic at the last moment. How often we have angel friends? You know, those are angels. They will WhatsApp you, they'll message you, they'll call you. Hey, this is important. This might come in the exams. This is something that was repeated there in the last exams, last few 5 years or something. That's fine. It's kind of a help, you know. But I personally believe in the fact that any study that you want to make in the last dying moments of those hours and days, you know, won't help you, especially. And it has happened to me. I'm sharing my own experience. I was never good at it. I always had a bad experience. So if somebody calls me, used to call me and share something. Gone are the days there was no WhatsApp and technology. It was always the landline. But I never entertained that because I know that this is something that will deviate me from the route. Okay, so try to avoid learning new topics at the very last moment. Avoid anxiety and provoking discussions with friend. There is no need to have any discussions like how it went with you and I did so well and that kind of stuff. There is no need at all. How you fared, what you did is totally up to you. I would request to have these discussions very minimal, very limited, because I have never known that anything could be positive out of it, right? Now, again, some breathing exercises and some stuff that you guys are known to it, but let's do it. What do you say? Right? Let's do it. At least, you'll have an understanding as to how to do the breathing techniques, some relaxation techniques, some physical activity, healthy diet we mentioned, adequate sleep, and meditation, right? So, breathing technique. There is a beautiful technique that I have been using personally, and I do recommend also. Just try to sit straight, okay, uh, upright, okay. Uh, Take a deep breath. Count one, two, three, four. Hold your breath. Count one, two, three, four. Breathe out with the count one, two, three, four. Now, finally, pause with no breath. One, two, three, four. This is the most simplest breathing technique that I have known. You might just do it in cycles of 2 minutes, and believe me, this breathing technique will help you a lot. Most of us are cricket fans. The IPL is on, and who doesn't love Mahendra Singh Dhoni? Everybody loves him, right? And he was a winner. He was the best captain that we ever had, and a very beautiful track record of winning and while chasing runs also. So people
Who's
used to
the?
Mahendra Singh Dhoni,
Uh-huh.
MS Dhoni. So people used to ask him that how you could manage that last moment. When you're chasing a score and the wickets are gone and you are there with some tail ender, but still most of the time he came out as a winner. He won the match for India for his team. So he said that I focus on my breathing. I focus on my breathing. That gives me that strength, the stamina, that vitality, and above all, the focus. Most of the people know Sadhguru. Maybe most of us know him. He's a spiritual guru, Sadhguru. I read it some time back. He said it. You can achieve anything with proper breathing. I would repeat, Sadhguru said, you could achieve anything simply merely by proper breathing. And how often we just fail to understand how we are breathing, and it's something that is so automated kind of stuff for us, right? It's so mechanical for us to breathe in and out, but the breathing exercise, those techniques, they take you at a different level. Relaxation exercise. This is something that I will recommend early in the morning. Whenever you wake up, what happens mostly during the exam time, if you study late night or even if you're waking up early, what will happen? Mark my words, you're going to have some kind of mental fogging. Does it happen to you guys? Does it happen? Mental fogging. You get up, and for a few seconds, you are just simply lost. It happens. It's natural. It's common. But if it repeatedly happens, then definitely your sleep patterns are disturbing. Medical science says that you need adequate sleep of 6 to 7 hours. Somebody says 7 to 8 hours. But here it's depending man to man, person to person, your physical requirements. So it normally happens when you wake up with improper sleep, you're going to have mental fog. So better stick to your timetable and your schedule so that next morning when you wake up, you don't have mental fog. But if at all it happens, again, just when you wake up, sit, don't get off the bed, sit there. Help yourself to sit properly. Most of the people when we get up from our bed, our postures are very different and very weird kind of. No, if you follow the right technique, you should, your feet, your thighs should balance yourself to make yourself sit and have your posture beautifully and simplistically. Then, for few seconds, it could be the state of meditation. Early morning, there are no thoughts, nothing. You and yourself and your situation. So just simply sit there for a few seconds. Nothing should strike your mind. No thoughts, no worries, nothing. Just be there. If it helps you within a minute or two, beautiful. And at least half a minute, 30 seconds, just be still. Ground yourself. Your feet should be firmly grounded. And just sit peacefully. Like I said, be very mindful. No thoughts, no actions, no words, no feeling whatsoever. And those few seconds, a minute or two, will make you feel very relaxed and very fruitful. So you won't be having mind fog. Healthy diet, we have already mentioned. Adequate sleep, yes, it's required. Meditation, we won't go deep into it, but at least if you could be trying those two exercises that I've done, with you, it could be helpful. Fine. Now, be persistent, organized, and regular. Most of the students are organized all through the year. Agreed? How many people are there in this audience right now, an audience of 27, apart from the teachers who are consistent all through the year? Be honest. Safia, you're there, right? I trust you. If you aren't, but at least during the time of the exams, you should be focused. Be persistent, be organized, because it won't help you unless you are taking things the way they are. So always try to be persistent, organized, and planned and regular. Again, this should be subject to your suitability. The teachers are always there to help you. The teachers are always there to guide you, but they have certain limitations. When you step out of the school and you are at your home, your place, what happens? Your parents will be there, they will be guiding you, but most of the time we aren't comfortable with the words that our parents speak. Finally, I will end up with a few words for the teachers and for the parents also. So, time management. How beautiful it is to have proper time management. And today's youth, sorry to be too direct, but most of the time people they say that they kill their time. They feel that the time is insufficient. They feel that they are not being able to achieve their targets. And like I said, it is a cause of stress also. So we all have 24 hours in common. We all agree, right? But still, if somebody says that I'm killing my time or I don't have sufficient time, so definitely we aren't in good control of our times. This is again an exercise. Note it down. You might want to do it tonight. I would request if it's possible for you to do it tonight. Like morning when you wake up, uh, and finally, when you retire to the bed, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes and recall your entire day. I repeat, recall your entire day as to how was my day? How did I utilize my 24 hours? Sleep was essential, food was essential, traveling was essential, study was essential. But you will find that those 24 hours, minimum 2 to 3 hours were purely wasted. I would repeat, and I'm not shy to say this, you will find that minimum 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours at times are purely wasted. So if you are in track of your time, that yes, my 24 hours of the day are to be designed in the most fruitful and, and the right way, then you will work on it. And believe me, this exercise, if you do it for a week, if you do it for a week, at the end of the day, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes. And as a life coach, I always love to ask my people, my client, my coaches, to get into the habit of journaling. Youngsters, you are the future. I would love to love you all. Well, I would love that you would get into the habit of journaling, writing down. It's not about the studying stuff that you write, something that you feel that you want to achieve, some kind of a law of attraction, manifestation, something that you want to achieve in life, some goal setting, some smart plannings. You should be in a habit of writing. That is what we call journaling. Somehow, in the age of social media, it is missing, but I strongly recommend that it should be part and parcel of your life. So time management, like I said, do this exercise for a week or so, and you will find that in a day you are wasting 3 to 4 hours, which could be utilized for your betterment. And I strongly recommend, as a health and wellness coach, that please give yourself an hour, 1 hour in a day. Pamper yourself. Pamper yourself. Nobody is going to do it for yourself. You are mothers, you are teachers, parents. I always believe that this work-life balance. It is only mostly for the females, for the ladies, right? It is something you should take it positively. All the ladies out there, take it very positively that work-life balance is mostly for the female because most of you are working. You have family, you have kids, you have so much of social, moral responsibilities that you tend to forget yourself at times. Your health is deteriorating, right? And in today modern era, mostly the female, they have a lot of issues. We won't talk about it, we won't touch on it, but just you can recall what's happening within your mind and within your body. Most of the people are on medication. Mostly nowadays, thyroid is so common with the ladies. So it's that those 3 to 4 hours, if you feel that could be utilized. So I humbly request that at least 1 hour should be yours. Pamper yourself, take care of yourself, and be the best version of yourself, right? Fine. Let's proceed. Why healthy life is a key to your success? I think we have touched upon it. Now, the important part on the day of exams. Certain common things are beautiful but worthy of being reminded. Being on time. Always make sure that you are coming to the examination hall on time. Enter the hall with positive attitude. That is so important. Even if you are anxious, some level of anxiety, which is acceptable, which is normal and natural, should be there. But feel that positivity within you. When you enter the exam hall, make sure you have your positivity. When you get your question paper, go through it with a peace of mind. Don't be in a hurry to answer. Most of the people aren't being able to score good, although they are well prepared, they know their answers, but somehow they aren't able to give the priority to the questions, and they just simply attempt. So read and understand the question paper before beginning to answer. Planning to answer as per his or her ability is something that you should do beautifully within the stipulated time. Why most of the people score good and some of them score average? Because they could manage their time. So time management during the exams, during the writing process, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, whatever, you have to do it. I'll give a small tip here again. When you're studying, make sure you are sitting in the right posture. Most of the people are on the couch, on the bed, and just bean bags, any possible place you could be, you are there. Believe me, I can vouch on this that it doesn't help your study process. It is always essential, it is always crucial, it is always result oriented, it is always fruitful when you're sitting in the right posture while studying. Believe me, try it again. This is some kind of a challenge I'm throwing to you. Get away from your habits. If you're into that habit, lying on the bed and on the couch and any place possible, right? Just give up on that habit and always sit at your desk table, whatever is there, the available resources, but your sitting posture should be upright and straight. This will help you a lot. Post-mortem discussion are not encouraged. What happens mostly when you step out of the exam hall and most of the common friends, they get along and in this discussion and see some people feel, oh my god, I missed out on this was the answer, I could just partially write it right and partially I don't know whether I'll get it score, I'll be able to score it well or something like that. So always try to avoid the post-mortem discussion. It is not at all required, not at all essential. During the study period, now here is the key. How to recall. You are well prepared for your exam. You know what is the volume that you have to study, the books, the subject, the curriculum syllabus is thorough with you. When you guys are studying, like example, you devoted to 1 hour of studying for a particular subject. That's up to you totally. But how do you help recall it? Again, the meditation state, the state of being mindful comes very handy. And these tips are so beautiful, so simplistic, and it doesn't require much of your time. But the results, the benefits are immense, are huge. So during the exam times, you go through the question paper, but you're not able to recall that answer, or you're just able to partially recall that answer. So during your study process, I allow you, parents, teachers, allow your kids that if they are sitting for 30 to 45 minutes, give them a 10 minutes break. They need it. They need it. It's most essential. Those 10 minutes, yes, let them go for some music, for some social media stuff. That's fine. Okay, that's their 10 minutes. But kids, make sure that that 10 minutes, if you are being allowed by your parents, 5 minutes of that, just sit and just try to recall in your mind what you have studied. What will happen, the mind will start to echo the words that most of the people, when they read, they just remember the words. Most of them, they read it loud, right? This is perfect. Again, nothing specific, nothing generic, right? It's up to you. But what happens when you study something and you want to try to recall instantly? Just don't leave that desk, that table instantly. Just give yourself 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes max. Sit there again in a state of mindfulness, in a state of meditation, and recall those questions and answers in your mind. Okay? Need not write it, right? But what you read, your own words, as if you're listening to yourself. Isn't it beautiful, guys? You're listening to yourself. That's the best part, You're listening to your own self, what you have just read, you try to understand it, whatever you have understood, now you're trying to recall. So you're listening to your own self. So this strategy will help you during the exam days when you have your question paper and somehow we tend to blank out. We tend to blank out and we don't understand, oh my goodness, where I am. I know the answer, but partially. I'm just missing the bullet points or some crucial key words I'm missing. So that kind of thing is there. Again, I have specifically told your parents, your teachers who are there attending this session that yes, there should be a me time for you guys. You need to relax, some kind of a music, some kind of a meditation, chat with your friends, but for the limited separated time. During the studies, your mobile should be away. I simply call these devices weapons of mass distraction. They were weapons of mass destruction, but I call these weapons of mass distraction. What happens if these are close to you during your study times? Definitely some messages will pop up, right? What will happen? Distraction, and you lose your focus. Can you allow yourself to lose your focus during the exam days, during the crucial moments when you're studying for it? Right? You are not allowed. You can't allow yourself to have this liberty to get distracted during exam days. So keep away your mobile phones. Just I would suggest not even the silent mode. Just keep them away for a while you're studying. Because what happens once a message pops up? What happens? You lose your focus, and it'll take you minimum 20 to 25 minutes to get your focus back. And the lack of focus, what will happen? You will be not able to grab, you will not be able to retain what you have read, what you have learned, because 20 to 25 minutes you are again in a state of lack of focus. So don't allow yourself to do it. Support groups in our days, my days, were helpful. I don't know how far you guys youngsters are comfortable with, but yes, gathering of people facing common issues to share what's troubling them, it helps. I think teachers, they might be doing it in their classrooms. If somebody wants to speak about it, if some teacher, principals, they are into such practices, or even some parents, they do it within their kids, some group studies there. If you're doing it as a support group, so I feel that it might still help. This is the most important part, and I think I'll be needing 10 more minutes of the session. Please allow me so that I can help you more thoroughly. This is more on a technical part. I can't devote time to understand the entire therapy, but at least for the sake of examination, I can certainly give you some tips which will be very important. So nowadays, my dear kids, even parents and teachers, when we talk about therapy, what thought comes to your mind first? I need an answer, please. I'm requesting for an answer. First thing, if I say I am going for a therapy, so what comes to your mind? What would be your first thought process? Instantly, what would you feel? So what's wrong with them? Everything okay here? Right? That's the thing, right? You feel that therapy, something is wrong. यहाँ कुछ problem है इसके साथ. It's not about that. Therapy is not just for mental development. It is for your entire personality development. I would repeat, therapy is not simply about your mental development. It is about your entire personality development. If at all some kids need it, believe me, parents have to go for it. You just, as a parent, if you're not able to justify to their questions, justify to that situation, you're not able to help your kids, definitely there are professionals out there, you need to seek their help. Don't be shy that you're taking your kid for a therapy. He needs it. And I would say it is not about your mental development, it is about your entire personality development. So we as teachers, we as parents, don't we want that our children should be like, holistically or in totality, they should be developed. Yes, my dear, if somebody wants to say something, Alina?
No, sir.
Oh, so I thought you raised your hands. Fine. So now, when we talk about cognitive therapy, again, use positive self statement. Positive self statement. Believe me, I do sessions with my clients when I ask them, like, okay, give me a quote which is so dear to you, so near to you, and I can do that session for entire 40 to 45 minutes based on that quote. If I ask Shazia ma'am, what is your favorite quote?
Sir, I was just thinking, like, can we give some time to the students to ask questions?
Okay, fine. Okay, cool. If there are some questions, please, certainly. Feel free. Yeah,
So, like,
because
because
I just need
this
maximum
40-minute
5 minutes to wrap
session,
up.
sir.
Okay, cool. No
Yeah,
problem.
it's
You
fine.
decide the floor. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, students.
Students, if you have any question, please ask, sir.
I'm sure most of the students have taken some points, some bullet points, and based on that, if there are some questions, I'm willing to answer. I'll try to help you out in the best possible way. Please.
Any questions, students? Alina, go ahead.
So, I'm curious about how anxiety, stress, and depression takes to self-harm and extra, you know,
Yeah,
suicidal thoughts.
yeah. What happens, my dear, like I said, it will start with an anxiety. And most of the time, it is so ignored. It is so misunderstood or rather underunderstood. So, mark my words, I'm trying to be very specific and clear so that you listen to it very beautifully and it should be very clear to you. So, most of the time, it is not being understood. It is most of the time, the delay process is there in realizing. So I believe and understand that if the self-realization process takes delay, then you will be automatically jumping to the stress situation. So anxiety is the step one, where you will feel your body will feel uncomfortable. You will feel like a loser. You will feel like a failure. You will be like very uncomfortable to express your feelings and desires. You will be very uncomfortable to speak your heart and mind. And it will be totally kind of vexed situation when people are like just numb kind of a situation. So that doesn't happen instantly, my dear. Mark my words, it doesn't happen instantly. Your body will always give you some signs and symptoms. Mark my word, our body, we are so beautifully designed, we are so beautifully engineered by our creator that our body gives early symptoms. And most of the time we fail to understand, respond, react to those indications. And the outside help, always feel free, never be shy, my child, to ask for help. If you need any kind of a help, please ask for it. Your parents are the first source, your teachers are there, your siblings, if they're elder to you, they are always your first source. So anxiety, most of the people fail to realize. So if you have those symptoms, if you feel any of these symptoms that I just mentioned are there, ask for help. Because in that kind of a situation, you won't be able to do anything. Even the routine task of the day will be tough for you. Believe me, the most minor task of the day will be like a mountain to you, my dear. This is anxiety. This is anxiety. So you need a help, ask for it. Because what would happen if you don't take the right step? Instantly, you're going to jump on the stress situation. And again, if your anxiety is not been understood and not been revealed and no help has been taken there, so maybe in between that stress situation will be surpassed and it will be anxiety to depression. That could also happen. That could also happen. So I hope I answered your question, my dear. Yeah, next.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, my dear. God bless you. Anybody else?
Yes,
Are you
Sapna.
getting? Yeah,
Sapna, go ahead.
yeah, dear,
Yeah,
please.
hello, thank you. But I'll begin with a quote, then I come to
I
questions.
can't hear you, my dear. Safia, can you be
Uh,
audible?
yeah, can you hear me now?
It's low. It's low. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'll begin with a quote, then I'll ask questions.
I can't
Then
hear
I'll
you, my dear.
say what I learned. Then
Safia,
we'll
speak
proceed.
louder. Safia, speak louder.
I
A
will.
little
I
louder.
will. I will want to first share what I have learned. Then I will go
Please,
uh,
please, your wish, your
with my
wish, your
question.
wish, as you are
What
comfortable.
I learned today was it's a coach. The yesterday is history.
Yep,
Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift of God, which is why it is called present.
certainly, because
My
it,
question to you
yeah,
would be: it's not related to this coach,
no
but
problem.
yeah, what's the best advice you would give to someone who has already given up?
Somebody who's already given up. That's a
What's
beautiful
the one
question.
advice?
Yeah, and believe me, when I was introduced, somebody, the ma'am, I forgot the name, she mentioned that I do motivational interviewing. And believe me, there are people I have met, there are people I have come across, they had medical conditions. Okay, because your question is not relevant to the session today, but still it is beautiful, it is welcome. So there are a lot of people I have met, I have done interview because they were trying to recover from their illness, and their illness was severe, prolonged illness, and that's the time when people give up. People who are going for some chemotherapy, people who are going for regular dialysis. Just imagine, I fail to understand what kind of a therapy is this because it literally kills you. Chemotherapy, right? You just become like a vegetable because such is that process. Such are those chemicals being injected in your body. Those cancer cells are being affected, but your body overall is suffering a lot. So if somebody has given up, believe me, that is ultimate. And most of the people when they commit suicide, and you can just google it, there are some standards which are there, like I can name it, yeah, National Crime Records Bureau. You can google it and you'll come to know that how many people are committing suicide, and especially kids. Now, answering your question then as to what would happen to people who have given up. So giving up on your own life, on your own self, does it come instantly? It doesn't come instantly. I said, like giving up on yourself, it's not a sudden, it's not a rampant decision. It takes years, it might take decades to recall somebody from that kind of a situation where he has given up. You need a purpose of life. Most of the people, they come to me when I talk to them, they are lacking a purpose in life. I'm not talking about focus. I'm
All
not
right,
talking
I'm
about
so
anything
sorry.
else.
I'll have to interrupt now. It's almost over an hour, sir.
Uh,
Could we wind this session, please?
yeah, just give me 2 more minutes. I'll just answer Safia and I'll just read something and done. Give me two more
Yes,
minutes,
sure.
please.
Thank you.
So what happens, Safia? It doesn't happen instantly. It takes decades. And if they lack that purpose in life, everybody is unique. The creator has created everybody with some unique qualities. And people, if you make them realize about their unique quality, definitely they can be recalled. This is the most simplest answer that I've given you, and it is workable, right? So just let me go through it. So the cognitive therapy, it will help you guys. Okay. So use positive self statement. That's always so essential. Please do it. Replace the illogical thoughts with logical thoughts. If you have one illogical thought, punch it, beat it with three logical thoughts. 1:3 ratio. Always do that. This is something we do in motivation also. One negative thought, punch it, hit it with three positive thoughts. Compete with yourself. That's the best competition. Compete with your own self. Comparison, mostly our parents, they fail to do that, and most of the time the results are that people aren't able to get the good results, and most of the children, they end up suicide because they tend to be like, they feel helpless. Means, the parents are the first source of guidance, help, nurturing, cuddling. So they feel that my parents are so, they're comparing with me. They don't understand where I like, why I like. There's lack of help. So what happens? So mostly the people go for suicide. Analyze the thought. Is it really we? Because most of the time we fail to understand what are our thoughts. So, like I said, instantly we have so many thoughts in a day, 60 to 65,000 thoughts. And just imagine getting them aligned and screening them. It's not an easy task. Last but not least, parents and teachers, a humble request, especially parents, make sure that the atmosphere at home is very conducive during this days of exam. It's very important because for sure there are situations, there are scenarios going on in each family, but especially during the exam days, make sure uh, the atmosphere at home is very conducive, positive, so that helps your kids. Make sure you spend time with your kids. Just follow up on what's happening, what's bothering them, how far they are coping up. That will help. And teachers, make your study very fruitful, because what is sometimes lacking the education system. Exams are just for passing out and grades kind of stuff. So what atmosphere you create in the classroom, That's more crucial. The learnings that they take forward in their life, that should stick with them, that should stay with their life for the next few years, and that's the real education as I understand and believe. That is all. Maybe some extra time I have taken, but I enjoyed the session thoroughly. Thanks a lot. Any feedbacks, any takeaways, I would love to listen.
Sir, even we enjoyed the session a lot. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. We look forward to other sessions, other topics, and this is a learning journey, a process, and never stop learning because if you stop learning, you become stagnant. Regardless of the age, uh, learning should be there. Reading, I read a lot, and I'm sure Safia is a book lover. She reads a lot. Believe me, take away from this session. If you want to have a calm state of mind, a mind with relaxed state, some kind of a meditation, some kind of self connect, reading is the best option. Reading is the best option. You could read anything that is suitable to you, apart from the curriculum, the books in the school, something different. I know somebody from the last session we had offline. She reads a lot about psychology, very young, and she reads psychology. So I was really surprised and happy that, my goodness, we have a future psychologist with us. So help yourself with good books, and that's something that you can self help, and it can nurture you, it can make you grow, and over the long period of time, everything will be so picture perfect. Thanks a lot. God bless you all. Love you.
Thank you so much, sir. Such a thought provoking session. On behalf of Golden Sparrow Hub Schooling, myself, Ms. Noorjahan, from the Department of English, would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, to our very respected Mansoor sir, for his
Thanks.
guidance on the very topic of overcoming exam fear. Your
Pleasure.
presence
Pleasure.
here today has truly enriched our event and brought valuable insights to our thoughts. We are sincerely thankful for your time, expertise, and managing contribution. Your words have inspired us and will continue to resonate long
Oh,
after this
there's
event.
a certificate for me. Wow.
As a
That's
token
fun.
of token of gratitude,
I'll
we would
frame it
like
up.
to
I'll
share
frame it
this
up.
momentum to last you with the memories of the lovely session. On behalf of the management, teachers, and students, kindly accept our token of
I
gratitude.
do with all my heart. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks a lot.
so much once again, sir, for gracing us with your presence and sharing your knowledge with us. Signing
Thanks.
off,
You're welcome.
Nurjan Sheikh.
God bless you all. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, buddy.
Nuja ma'am, you can stop the recording.
Thank you and bye bye, everybody.